welcome to another episode. My name is Dean Vassy. You can find me on X at #Kangas, Instagram #Kangaroos Podcast. Also on YouTube now. I'm trying it live on YouTube tonight, so see if that works. And I'm joined on this Happy Tuesday. And I say Happy Tuesday, girls, because we finally beat our big rivals. Not that, we've been waiting a few years with the men, but we've been waiting a few years for the men to beat anyone. But not only did we beat them, but we smashed our big rivals up the road, the Bombers. This, as a supporter, is the most satisfying win you could get. Claire and Jacinta, welcome to the show. Claire, I'm going to start with you. How satisfying was that win?
Yeah, up there, Dean. Very much up there. I spoke to you off air. I was pretty nervous about this one. I was playing my cards close to the chest on the podcast last week, but I don't know. I had this feeling that potentially we were going to drop a game against someone, and I thought, oh, is this the week? But alas, Kate Sheilor, I reckon in the first, 2 minutes of the game, basically sewed it up. She had that stunning kick where she bent the ball to the wind, and then I think she got another quick one in succession. I thought, okay, well, if there's any way to sort of, rest my nerves, it's through Kate Sheilor and her wonderful kicking boots. So pretty satisfying, Dan. I think what was also satisfying is seeing how many people rocked up to Windy Hill. I know it's a bit of an iconic place for supporters between Essendon and North, and we own it now. We own Windy Hill. That's ours. We've taken it. So good feeling, very good feeling.
Yeah, sold out Windy Hill as well, Claire. I think it was 4,000 there. So yeah, really good crowd, really good support. And no matter how much we hate Essendon, at least the supporters came out and you
got to respect that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, 100%.
As much as the rivalry does exist, it's like, good on you for getting there. We worry about winning and you worry about having the biggest banner. We've all got our priorities.
Yeah, I know. What a lot of shit that was. Jacinta, how was the Hens night you had on the weekend? Was it very satisfying seeing the result while having a few drinks on board?
Yes, it was. I didn't get to watch the game until late Sunday night, so I muted everyone as usual. And then I had a very peaceful Sunday night. It was it was good viewing. I bet. I'm new at the game, yeah, Dean. From the TV, it was nice hearing the Essendon supporters have a big sook about the umpires. So I bet in person it would have been even better.
Oh, it definitely was. The silence was deafening. Very early in the game. They did have, like I said, good support, but there was a lot of North supporters there too, which is really good to see. Now, we smashed them early, Claire. I think it was 15 inside 50s to 0 in the first quarter. Really got on top in the contest, really smashed them in the contested ball. And then we beat him on the outside. I thought we were just far too good for him, Claire.
Yeah, 100%, Dean. And that was kind of picked up. It's the first time we've ever had a commentator sort of give us some due compliments.
It's very rare.
It's incredibly rare. But Alicia Eva was on the tools, and she was just sort of saying that they put a question to her, and she's the GWS captain, and said, "How do you beat North?" And she's like, "Well, they'll beat you on the inside because they are the best, in tight contested ball, but also they're running carry through the half back, and they're incredible." I think, Dean, the best thing about watching the game on the weekend was watching all the sort of jigsaw pieces together, like Tripodi, Smith, Craven, all having phenomenal games, Gat having a phenomenal game. So it's not just your stars that you rely on to get your 25 plus touches and kick a goal, but you've got that new elevated group of young players coming through and developing really well. So, it's just incredible to watch. I feel like it's, obviously the season capping off with the flags is the ultimate goal, but I'm trying to take it week by week and really just sort of lap and soak up how great these wins are. And I think I put on my Twitter, I'm like, if I didn't go for this team, I'd be so jealous of this forward line. It's the best forward line in the comp, and it's the best forward line the league has seen. I'm willing to say that. Like, the league throughout however many seasons that we've been going, I think that's the most powerful and most dynamic forward line setup that the league has seen. So pretty cool that it's North Melbourne, isn't it?
Oh, definitely. Complete opposites to what we used to as far as forward lines go from the men's to the women's program. Now, Jacinta, what did you make of the Bombers' tactics? Flooding back pretty much from the first 5 minutes of the game and really not changing for the rest of the game. It was a frustrating watch because they had no intent of trying to score really for most of the game, and they really just tried to minimise the damage.
Yeah, it was actually, honestly, it was really boring football. Lucky we I mean, as usual, I mean, you can count on us for a fair few goals. So we really, honestly, actually, I think we're actually carrying the league in terms of exciting footy. But anyway, that's another issue. But even when Essendon did get going on those very, very few occasions where they had players open in the middle, they could not hit any of them, or they would.
No.
They'd hit them and they'd drop it, and I just couldn't believe the skill level. And I know there's a lot to do with the pressure that the North girls were putting on them, but this, I don't know. They honestly dropped a whole heap of, I don't know, just sitters, and then I was just thinking,
chest
like,
marks. Yeah,
they're in like the top 8. That should not be the standard of football that anyone is producing. And even like Emma King's shot, it was in the last quarter, and it dropped in the goal square. And you're fair, like there should have been some North girls on the line defending it, but there wasn't. And there's 2 Essendon girls there. No one can work out what to do with that. So I can understand why they did flood. I really can, because there was no way they were winning playing like that anyway. But they're also not winning by just playing that boring defensive football that, you know, everybody's been going on about how the AFLW, that's what it is all just like pack football. And I don't know, sometimes I just feel like they don't help themselves. Like, surely you'd rather lose by 10 but kick 3 or 4 goals rather than, you know, lose by 10 and kick 1. And really, the one they got was a bit iffy, and they got it in like the last few minutes as well. So they were lucky to even kick a goal. I couldn't believe what they were doing, honestly.
I think it's also someone tried to do a snap kick outside the 50 and Bonnie Toogood just ended up getting the mark. Or
Yeah.
I think, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't a pure, you know, transition forward and they've hit a leading target. I think Daria Bannister had a shot on goal and it was just purely a lucky situation where I think she got taken high and had a set shot. And then Bonnie Toogood was the same. It was like a quick snap out of the middle or a free kick or something. So, yeah, I think they've got some decent players in Toogood, Gay, and Prespakis, but I think unfortunately their talent really drops quite quickly. You know, and it's great. Like I was saying this is pretty harsh, but it's Essendon, so I don't care. But you know, it's nice playing North's thirds team because you know
It's a relaxing watch.
It's a relaxing watch. It's a soothing watch. But honestly, like with Bannister and Brooke Brown going across, I just think that in comparison, North have upgraded those two positions. Like Dario Bannister is a poor man's Vicky Wall, and Brooke Brown is a poor man's Eliza Shannon, and Eliza Shannon can't even get into our team at this point.
Yeah.
So
actually, I was thinking about this. All the players that we've lost over the past like couple of years, do you reckon any of them would even be in the best 20 in the team? Because it's hard. It's a real struggle to even pick one.
Yeah, I don't think one of them would right now. I think they've been surpassed. Well, I mean, you got Ashmore. I think she's past it.
Yeah.
She's okay, but not as good as she was probably 4 or 5 years ago. Brooke Brown's not a bad player, good intercept player, but you know we've upgraded there with probably Birch. Like you said, Shannon is a better player than her now. Bannister she reminds me of Jake Stringer in and out of games.
Oh yeah, I can see that. Yeah, like can turn it on and happily do it. Yeah.
Oh, she'll have her moments, but
yeah,
that's all it is. It's moments.
And she'll bully the flat track teams. Like she'll bully anyone.
She does.
Like you know, in the bottom 8 as opposed to standing up on her 2 feet. Yeah, I don't think to answer you just another. I was the only one that popped into my mind because you know she's a Hawks player and they've been glazed as much as they could possibly can be. Like I think Gilroy though played more defense for us. Gilroy was a defender though for us for a while, and then she sort of was just offered pretty big money at Hawks and made the jump over. So apart from that, I think everyone else, more or less, I mean, look at Aliva Gavalis, look at Daisy Bateman, they really haven't gone on with it, whereas in, like, on the opposite end, we've been able to produce Tess Craven. We've been able to take her from the draft and do really well with her and Ruby Tripodi, and, like, it seems like we've really been able to replace, like, that core group that we thought probably second or third string. Like, someone tweeted me and sort of said, you know, like, it's nice that those sort of girls can play, like, they were playing scrimmage roles at North anyway. They're basically our thirds team. So it's a little harsh, but I feel like we've done our due diligence in developing half the league and being able to sort of let them filter out to the other expansion clubs at this point. So, you know, We've done our charity work for the league, basically.
Yeah, I do. I
Yeah.
actually I trust the list managers with the women. I like when they say we're going to let go of this player. I think, oh, okay, I trust them. Even when we lost ABBA, I was gutted,
Yeah.
but I mean that was obviously the right call as well. Like, yeah. Anyway, I trust them. So even though losing even Ashmore really hurt me, but again, that's worked out well too.
Yeah.
Oh, we had Amy Smith who was coming up anyway, so it probably worked out pretty well. I think that's a clear upgrade now. I don't think anyone could argue with that. I agree with Gilroy because I understand just before she left, they were going to push her forward for next year.
Yeah.
That's what the club were talking about, and she did work at the Rouge shop, which was a bit. I found that a bit of a strange move at the time.
I think it was at the time,
that,
but I also think
yeah.
Gilroy doesn't get, like, you think of that forward line, Sheila Randall, Wall, Bella Eddy, Elise O'Loughlin, like, how's she getting into that? So, you know, it might have been fundamentally maybe a decent idea for her to move because the writing's on the wall in terms of her having the capacity to play in that forward line, and whether she gets, you know, frequently gets games. So, yeah, I don't know. There's a lot to think about. But I think, yeah, the big difference for me on the weekend is that we have a pretty consistent and well-balanced team across every line. And, you know, people like Georgia, Nance Squire, number 5 for them, I think she tried her guts off and tries to get to the contest. But they drop away pretty quickly after their, you know, maybe top 4 or 5 players. And then it just sort of sinks, which is hard to do against good teams. It's hard to play good football when you're relying on 3 or 4 players to hold an entire team up, I guess.
I was trying to think of that defender's name that played on Kate Sheila. She got outmarked a couple of times and kept complaining about free kicks.
Yeah,
she reminded me a little bit of Kale Hooker. You know, getting beaten in a contest all the time and then just complained to the umpire that he was getting held and all that sort of thing. So,
yeah, her name's Georgia Clark. Yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah, that's the one, Clark. Yeah,
I guess when you're getting an absolute bath and it's that early in the match, you got to start yapping and trying to make out that you'll, you know. But she's 24. She's I think her games experience not that great, and yeah, it was clearly. I mean, she's from Geelong. She's originally from Geelong, and she's moved over to Essendon in 23. But yeah, compared to Sheila, she was no match at all. But then again, who is a match for Sheila or Randall? I mean, they're just phenomenal, that forward line.
Yeah, look, I mean, we could talk all day about the forward line. I guess the only issue with the forward line, Jacinta, is a bit hit and miss as far as set shots go. I think Talia Randall still has an issue with that. Some of her kicks can go in strange directions. And even Emma King's not probably the most solid kick. We've had a couple of games where we've kicked pretty inaccurate. I mean, that's probably about the only issue because everything else is just we play a forward half game. We spend probably 60, 70% of the game up in the forward half. It's just, I guess, the inaccuracy that's the only way our teams are going to stop us, really.
Yeah, the inaccuracy in front of goal, especially from Emma King, is an odd one because I'd probably back her in as one of our best set shots. I mean, in terms of the distance she can kick, and even her routine, it looks nice and fluid. But yeah, on the weekend she just couldn't quite get it going. But I would still back her in. I think Sheila's a beautiful kick at goal. But yeah, O'Loughlin she's hit and miss as well these days. Randall has always had some trouble with it. I think Jazzy Garner's usually pretty good. I would usually trust her. But even last week, she had a moment with that as well. So, yeah, you are right. I think even Vicky Wall, sometimes she just looks like she doesn't know which way she's going to kick the ball when she's got a set shot. On the run, I'd trust it. But, yeah, set shots, I'm not really sure about. Yeah. I think that's a pretty fixable one. I mean, they don't really have much else to work on during the week, so they could just stand in front of the goals and have shots.
Yeah, you might as well. There's not much else going on, I suppose. But, I mean, last week they did kick pretty straight as well. I mean, they did kick 14-3 against the Swans. So I guess you've got to take the good with the bad as far as that goes. I guess a big bonus, Claire, was the Lions losing in a surprising loss to Geelong over the weekend, which probably means we're going to get a home final in Melbourne in the first week, which is a double bonus, not only beating our big rivals, but Brisbane getting knocked off as well.
Yeah. You know what's funny? I had a feeling about this round. I thought it was a big rivalry round, and I thought Geelong are weird. They're such a weird club. They go out and tie against us against the second round, lose to Carlton, and then beat Brisbane. They are just nuts. Like, they're a nuts team. Or I'd find it so difficult probably to follow Geelong this season. And they've only had a couple injuries throughout the season, so it doesn't really track as to why they've been up and down. But yeah, I thought at some point, I think it was maybe 6 minutes left to go, and the Lions put on 2 goals pretty quickly, and I thought, they're not going to do it, are they? They're not going to choke. I just was holding on. But no, I thought Nina Morrison was really good down there. She kicked a real clutch goal. But a really mature, I think, win from Geelong. And I think they've got a bit of guts in them from losing that prelim, because I only lost by less than a goal to Brisbane when you think about it, that prelim up there. So I think the same fire in the belly that we had when we lost the grand final to them, I think there was a bit of that in Geelong, is in the sense that, we probably deserved, we fell a little bit short of playing in a grand final last season. We're playing, a repeat of the match. And I think it's odd because teams like Geelong and D's are coming into form at a really odd time of the season, and they've dropped a few games in here, so they might potentially sneak back into the finals if things go their way. But I mean, it's helped us, hasn't it? It's helped us tremendously in terms of potentially securing a home final. So we'll take it. But I'm very fascinated to see how that McClellan trophy pays off, because that's the trophy where the men's and the women's combine to see who gets as many wins. And I'd actually be I think it would be a bit strange if Lions don't win it, on the premise that their men's have won the premiership this season. And, it would be odd. Basically what I'm saying, I'd be pretty annoyed if Hawks won, because they've got an easy fixture. Like, Brisbane have had to play all the finals again and do a bit more travel. Like, I don't think Hawthorn are deserving of that trophy. But anyway, look, we'll take the freebie. We've got a home final now, basically locked in, and that's good news for our club. So happy days, I guess.
Yeah, and if you can get through the first final, whether you finish first or second, then you'll get another home final. So yeah, that's it's a pretty important game that was at the time, Brisbane Lions against Geelong. Not that I think we'll still win this week against the Crows, but I mean, it just eases the pressure a bit, thinking long term. Jacinta, Sarah Wright, and she's all good. Just a minor ankle tweak. I was a bit nervous about that one. Jenna Bruton and Ash Riddell had a little bit of time on the sidelines with their own little niggles as well. But we're happy to come. They were happy to come back out there and play. So good news to get through pretty much unscathed as well.
Yeah, I was actually when Riddell came off, I think it was early, like in the first or second quarter, and I was screaming at the TV when she came back on, because I thought no, ice. But yeah, you can't stop any of these girls from going back on, but we do need them this week. And then, against the Gold Coast, they want a week off, they can have the week off. But yeah, it makes me nervous that we have had a very good run with these injuries, and they have all, especially like Riddell and Garn, everyone, they have played a lot of game time. So it makes me nervous that, if they push themselves a little bit too hard, who knows? And it's really not a good time for any of those injuries. If we get a couple bad ones, that could really spell the end. So it makes me nervous, but I trust them. I trust the club. So yeah, we just need them to come through. And then if they need to have a break, it's definitely the week after this. They need to get their butts on a plane and go beat Adelaide.
Yeah, look, that would probably be the aim. I think they would just go through the season anyway. They're not going to rest anyone. I'm pretty sure they won't want to flirt with their form. I guess a player that's taken a spot that is injured, and that's Tess Craven in the back line, Claire. I thought she was outstanding. 15 disposals, 4 tackles, and 1 goal assist. Goal assist, I should say. She's a beautiful kick, isn't she? You can see her role in a couple of years being a rebound defender, eventually when Emma Coney does retire, can't you?
Yeah, the commentators joked about that, Dean. They said, how's Emma Coney going to make her way back into this side? And
I did hear that.
It's a worthwhile question. It's whoever gets nudged out, they're going to receive their harsh end of the stick there, because they've held up really well. They're the stingiest back line. They don't give anything away. They don't give an inch. I think Libby Birch has been wonderful down there as well as that sort of replacement for a Carney in terms of the leadership. But yeah, Tess Craven is, I guess, a testament to versatility and depth that North have. Like, you know, she can play the wing. She can often chip in with a high half forward. That's that she started her career in that sort of high half forward place, moved to the wing, and now she's gone half back. I think just a testament to her ability to read the ball and her game awareness to put herself in different positions, reading the play really well, backing herself in for a trot and a run and finding space. She's really good, I think, at opening up the game and finding space. And I think that's the winger in her. Like, if someone asked me, what's your ideal position for Tess Craven, I'd have to say wing. Her and Amy Smith rotate and Taylor Gatt on the other side. But yeah, she's been incredible. Like, you know, we said a couple of weeks ago when Carney went down, how are we going to fill this role in terms of leadership and what is it going to look like playing off the half back? And Jazzy's been wonderful as the captain of the club, and Tess has held that spot down really well. So that's what wins your premierships, Dean, is it's the depth that the team goes into bat and the versatility of being able to throw around the magnets and chuck a Craven back when you have a Carney out. So yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing to watch. And she's just so good at opening up the game and seeing the spots of where to kick it into space or looping a handball over and knowing how that we're going to transition the ball forward. So I also think that it helps that she's played with the club for a long time now. Like, you look at that group and they've been playing together more or less, you know, obviously Libby Birch, but more or less for maybe, I think, 5 or 6 seasons. So the core nucleus of that club know each other so well, and there's such a great level of trust and they understand the systems work. So yeah, I'll have to stop there, Dean, because I could rattle on for how great Tess Craven is for days. But no, she's good. She's good. TikTok Tess. We love to see it.
Oh, definitely, yes. I love when she's got the ball in her hands because generally you feel pretty confident she's going to hit a target. So yeah, and I think I really like her as a rebounding defender. She's got a bit of pace. And I felt like she got ignored a few times. She was by herself and she did a lot of running to get into space and she got ignored. Whereas I think in, probably, next couple of years, they will go to her a lot more. Like if it's Emma Carney running past, they give her the ball, whereas Tess Craven, they probably ignored her a couple of times. And once that trust builds up even more, I've got no doubt they trust her. But yeah, once that trust builds up a bit more, she'll probably get 20, 25 touches instead of the 15. But we'll continue with the second tier here, Jacinta. I mean, it's a discredit to them, actually, to call them a second tier because they're better players than that. I mean, Amy Smith, who continues to get overlooked, doesn't get talked about much, had 19 disposals, 7 tackles. Bresnahan, 15 disposals, 267 metres gained. Taylor Gatt with 13 touches, Tripodi with 11 disposals, 10 tackles, O'Shea with 10 disposals, 281 metres gained. Vicky Wall takes some nice contested marks. I mean, we can talk about Riddell and Garner, but this is where it's at as far as being, heavy premiership favours. It's that next group, isn't it, Jacinta?
Yeah, the next group are top 10 players in basically any other team except maybe Adelaide and Brisbane. But I can't believe how well they have come on. Like, you expect maybe a couple of them. You thought maybe Amy Smith had it in her and, that they would maybe still be inconsistent. But I mean, Taylor Gatt is 19 years old. And how many games has she played? 20, maybe 30?
I'd say she's at 30 odd now.
Yeah, and it's insane because in the men's, obviously, you think of Harry Sheezer when he's 19, but he's already played how many games has he played? He's played over 40 already, and she's, half it, and she just looks like she's been playing for years. It's just, I don't know how they've all come on at the same time. It's just such a credit to the development coaches because they're not even depth players. They're just locks. You wouldn't be able to pick which player needs to get out of that team because they are flying. And Erica O'Shea has moments in the game where you think, oh, well, she's going to tear this apart. And then, but then the next second it's on the other wing and then Taylor Gatt's doing it. And then, Bresnahan's coming off the half-back line. And yeah, there's every player you could write a whole essay about because they've all just really clicked. They've all gelled. I don't know what happened over that off season. If they're really, really playing with a mission. And last year you thought, they really want this flag, obviously. But yeah, this year they've all taken it to another level. It's those young players that I think they really, really get now how hard it is to win one of these flags. And I know they've only been playing for a couple of years, but I would say that, Emma Carney and Garner and everyone have really got into their heads and said, like, that pain from last year, let's not do it again. So, yeah, they have all clicked. And I think they also know that pressure is coming from, like, you want to say our seconds, but they're not really our seconds, like Eliza Shannon and all of those players. They are coming and they are pushing, and anyone who has a bit of an off game, they could be out. And this close to finals, you definitely do not want to be out of this squad.
No, definitely. Another player that's really stepped up, and surprisingly, she was dropped early in the year, is Neve Martin. I think she's picked up the game really well, Claire. For her, Vicky Wall, Erica O'Shea, it looks like they've been playing AFL football for 10, 15 years. But these are all relatively new in the last couple of years that have just come in, and they've taken it like a duck to water. But Neve Martin, she couldn't get a game, but she's an important part, isn't she? She's a very good player.
Yeah, I think there's something to be said about the pipeline of Gaelic football to AFLW. I think lots of teams are definitely tapping into that rich market because of the skill sets and the professionalism that comes across. You've basically got ready-made players ready to go. They're very fit. They're very strong. They can kick with both feet, like Neve Martin. She's got the capacity to go either side. I'm always astounded at how quick she is. She's just very light on her feet. She's really good at anticipating the ball and moving towards space, which I love about her. But yeah, it is fascinating. It's. I think when you play with the best and you train with the best, you naturally, by osmosis, get better, don't you? Like if you're training with Elise O'Loughlin and Bella Eddy and Vicky Wall, the Neve Martin being, maybe the fourth small, you get better because you learn their craft and you learn where to place yourself or what to do in certain positions. And I think, Ruby Tripodi at the moment probably has the absolute best, I guess, development in place because she's learning from Riddell, Garner, Bruton and Mia King. Do you know what I mean? Like imagine you'd pay money. Do you know what I mean? You'd pay money for that. Like you genuinely pay money to learn how to be that good and just sort of mix hands and do scrimmages with those girls. So I think it's a testament to the fact that they're all improving because the standards of the club are so high. And you only get better because of the standards that you set for the club. And I think that is the difference. You do drop off quite heavily when you got Brisbane, obviously they had a loss in the weekend, but let's just say for the argument's sake, Brisbane, us and Adelaide, you've got stars in every line and you train with them every day and you get better and better. Whereas if you're on Essendon, you're pretty much relying on Press Barker's Too Good and Gay to hold all your standards up and you don't get the same amount of development because you don't get one-on-one time to practice your craft and get better. So, yeah, Neve Martin's a gun. I'm scratching my head and I know we joke about it, but, Carney comes back in probably for finals. We wouldn't rush her back for Gold Coast, and I just don't know whose place she's taken because everyone at the moment is they're a top side. That you can't. I don't know where I'd take someone out of that side. So I'm glad I'm not Taryn Crocker, I guess.
Oh, it's a good problem to have when you've got options. Like we said, like I think you mentioned, Jacinta, Eliza Shannon can't get a game. I think you even mentioned that Claire. She's a very good player. She's an AFLW standard footballer, as is Lulu Puller. We do have another Irish girl that hasn't debuted yet. Don't ask me to say her name. So yeah, maybe she's another one that we could find. So I think she might have been an emergency on the weekend, as far as I hear. But look, we'll enjoy it while we can, I guess, and we'll probably be enjoying it for the next few years because it is a very young group. Tripodi's only 20. Taylor Gatt's 19, 30-odd games already. Tess Craven's, I think, 21. We've got that second tier coming through. Jasmine Garner, Emma King, they're 30 years old, but it's pretty young, 30 years as well. And Kate Sheila looks like she's 25. Jacinta, how much of a presence is Talia Randall? She plays like a Jonathan Brown almost. Like if she's one-on-one, she'll just body anyone, and she's just far too strong for her opponents. If we can get the ball down to her, regularly, which we seem to, she's pretty good at least bringing the ball to ground. I think I'm almost waiting for her to just break out and kick 5 or 6 one game. She's a big presence, isn't she?
Yeah, she definitely plays with those angry pills. But I think as well with our forward line with Randall and Sheila, I mean we've been outside of those those rainy games, which I know there was a few of them, but we do play a lot of fast, quick footy, unlike the men's team where we just bomb it in. But I do think that we do have that option that if we do get in some trouble, I mean, we can always bomb it down to Talia Randall. She never gets outmarked, unless, like you said, Georgia Clark's complaining about a free kick. She doesn't. The ball will go to ground. Sheila's fantastic at that as well. And then I think you can trust those crummers like Vicky Wall and Bella Eddy and Lachlan are down there as well. So I think if we do come up against a team like Adelaide and they do actually have a pretty sound defensive structure, you can always just resort to that long bomb. And I think eventually it would actually pay off with the structure that we have up forward. But yeah, they're definitely benefiting off that quick ball movement that we've got. I can't count how many times Randall is left one-on-one, like in the goal square basically. And teams are just happy to go with it, or they just can't work out how it is happening. But you would think that after 9 weeks they would have worked out. Obviously she's dropping backwards. She's just not pushing up as high as Sheila, but whatever it is, it's working for us, and I hope that they keep playing a bit of dumb defensive football.
Well, it's interesting you sort of watch how our forward line is set up when there's a stoppage in our back line. They do push up a lot up the ground, and then when it gets transition, usually we transition with pace and high skill, that she does push forward quite quickly, and she does work herself into a one-on-one position. Yeah, so it is a good tactic by the club to work that out, because a lot of her marks do happen when the ball is transitioning quite quickly, and you get the ball in the hands of O'Shea and a couple of other quick players. Generally does go pretty quick. Claire, do you think there was any ill feeling? I noticed a couple of times with Daria Bannister that a couple of players, when they tackled her, they wanted to know that it was quite an ill feeling towards her. I'm not too sure if you know anything about that or if you've seen anything, but it didn't seem like they were too impressed with her.
No, I think that's just the vibe. I mean, I could be wrong. I think the vibe was more like, you left, you've gone to our rival, we'll rub it in your face that we're kicking the shit out of you, or that we're smashing you. So I don't know whether there's anything that was too untoward about it, but I think we know Bannister can be lippy, and she can get up and about. If she gets one or two or takes a big clunk, she can be a dynamic forward. Like, she can, really provide a bit of energy down there. But I think the beauty of North's backline is they clamped down on her pretty hard, and they didn't give her an inch all game, to be honest. I think the only time she got a kick was when Jazz Ferguson went just a bit too high on her, and she had a set shot on goal that she absolutely sprayed. I don't even know whether it got a point. So,
No, it didn't. No.
Yeah, I think North have deserved the right to be lippy. And what I mean by that, Dean, is that they are the best in the comp. They are best inside, best outside. They were probably very stiff to lose a flag last year, and they've gone undefeated. And if it gives you that extra edge over your opposition, then I say do it. And what I found interesting was Riddell said post-match that Croc said to the group that, how you play Essendon today, the first time you play him is the impression that you leave on them for the rest of the season, and how they'll come up, and every time you see North on the fixture, they're shaking their boots knowing that we kept them to their lowest score ever, and we absolutely smashed them by like 51 points. So I think there's a real ruthless nature in how they approach their football, and I really like that. And I think it went back to, I think the turning point for me was when Jazz Garner started kind of getting into Brooke Loughlin's face after she gave away that 50. Because that never happens, Dean. You never see Jazzy Garner sort of like, she's just so composed and so level-headed as a footballer. And I think North, not only are they playing like winners, they are, in their mind, they've already got their hand on the cup. They're like, we deserve this. This is our season. And so I kind of like it. It's definitely different from our men's, as we know. We're just lucky to win a quarter. So I'm really liking the ruthless approach. I think they've got, if you want to walk the walk, you've got to back it up. And I think they're talking it and walking at the moment. And I think that's really good to have that mentality that, last season they really solidified to themselves by beating the big teams in Adelaide. and in Melbourne that they could do this, and now they're like, we are the best now. We are the standard, and we're going to talk ourselves up. So I'm a big fan of it. I think that they're proven to themselves and taking on that adopting that mentality, and it's proven to be quite advantageous to us, I guess. So it's not as good as the Essendon Edge, but
Yeah.
I'll take the ruthless Roos over and
Ooh,
being
that's a good one.
undefeated any day of the week, I reckon.
Oh, definitely would. Daria Bannister might get traded for pick 353 to GWS at the end of the year. So, yeah, that's it. She reminds me a bit of Jake Stringer. So, yeah, but we'll move forward. Now the Crows this week, another big game, Jacinta. I mean, I guess as long as everyone is fit, you couldn't think of any changes, could you?
No, I don't think we're touching our lineup. I think the Crows might have a little bit of selection headaches, but that's not really our business, I guess. But Adelaide they're winning. They're still winning, but I wouldn't rate their form all that highly. I mean, they smashed Collingwood, but I mean, who hasn't? They smashed the Giants again. Who hasn't? I think. Oh, they lost to Melbourne, obviously. And then they nearly lost to St Kilda as well. That one, I couldn't believe it. Yeah. So anyway, their form isn't that red hot. I think the only thing is, I guess we're playing obviously in Adelaide, so there's an advantage there, and you would think that they will definitely be turning up on Friday night, because I think it's the winner of it really goes into the finals with a big mental advantage, because we will probably cross their paths. If the ladder stays the same, we will probably cross paths with them at some point, and you really do want that advantage coming into the finals. But yeah, back to your original point, I don't think we will touch our team at all.
Yeah, Claire, how do you see this one? Probably a last tough test for the year. I don't think Gold Coast are going to send us any shivers down the spine. I mean, look, if Adelaide lose this, it's an important game. They probably finish outside the top four, which diminish their premiership chances. So yeah, I mean, but they've got Marathon or Hatchard in the midfield, two very big bodies, so it will be a big test for us.
Yeah, huge. I think they're going to play it like it's a final. I think they know that the top four spot is up for grabs. We were able to pick them at the post in the prelim by 1 point by hanging on. So, pretty big game. I think what's interesting is that they've got a pretty decent backline with Najwa Allen and Badal down there. So, I think they'll hold our key forwards pretty accountable. I think we're going to have to rely on our smalls. Particularly Vicky Wall, Bella Eddy, Elise O'Loughlin. I wouldn't be surprised to see more of our scoring opportunities come through that different sort of way. Just because they've got a pretty tall timber backline down there, and I'm fascinated. Like Ebby Marinovic, she racks. She absolutely racks, but unfortunately, she's not played anyone decent recently as well. So it's hard to kind of get a grip on just how valuable those possessions are. I'd love to see a Ruby Tripodi go with her. Not only just, for a defensive role on her, but also just to learn. I think, like with Garner and with Riddell, when you play against the best, you get better. But I'd like to see maybe Mia King and Tripodi rotate, playing a little bit more of a defensive role and nullifying her. But look, Crows are good. They're a professional outfit. They've played finals, I think, every year since they were incepted into the league, and they've got talent on every line. I just think the difference is that we've got the capacity to score a little bit more, and we've got more options. So, I mean, we've both pretty much had warm-up games on the weekend, haven't we? Like, they beat them quite easily, the Pies, and we beat Essendon. So, it's sort of like mouth guards on. This is the real one, guys. We've had a little warm-up. That was really cute, but I think also clamping down on someone like Caitlin Gould. I know she can be quite good. I think
good
our
player.
back, good player, good craft, just smart, very very tall as well. So I'd say I'd probably go Ferg straight onto her. But I think ultimately it won't be as free scoring. I think it'll be something like, and it'll be less than 10 points, I think, either side. And I think North, but I think it'd be like something like 32 plays 46. Oh, actually, no, that's more than
that's
10.
14 points here,
yeah,
Claire.
that's not good math, is it? But I just think it won't be as. I think we'll still kick seven or so goals, but I think we'll beat them by about roughly 2 goals. I don't think it'll be a blowout as per, because, we're playing them in Norwood. We match up pretty well. We just pipped them last year at the post by 1 point win, and they're a pretty professional outfit, and I think they've got everything on the line to play for this game, and they know how important it is. But I back us in, Dean. I'm taking your mentality. You think we're going to go this whole season undefeated, so I'm adopting your approach now. I love it.
I think the only way we could ever lose a game is if we kick inaccurate. Look, we kick 3 goals and the other opposition kick like 5 goals 2 or something. I think we're that far above any team, and that goes for this even Friday. I think we're a 3 or 4 goal better team than the Crows. You have to give them respect. They do have a lot of good senior players, premiership players as well. But I don't think they're as good as they were, and their team drops off quite a bit in their last 6 to 8 players. It's not their depth is in there.
Yeah, I agree with that. No, I was just going to say, with the expansion of Port Adelaide, they did lose a few, and so they're not as tough as what they used to be. But I still think because of the stakes and how high the stakes are, and they know they've got to do this to stay in touch with the top 4, I just think they'll come out all guns blazing, and really it'll be a very contested game, I think, with Munyard, Hatchard, and Marinoff as well. But I do agree with you. I think we've got them covered in terms of talent across the park. It's just, it'll be pretty tight, I reckon. But we should do them by about 2 goals, 2+ goals, I would say. But you reckon we will go 3 or 4? Is that your prediction?
Oh, I reckon 4+. But that's just me being.
Okay.
But that's just me being overconfident because we seem to smash every team we play. Besides Geelong, round 2, which was a wake-up call by the looks of it.
Yeah, that's true.
No other team has really come too close. I guess Richmond have, but we kicked it pretty inaccurate and it was wet. So, that's about it. What about yourself, Jacinta? Are you as confident as me or as egotistical as me with this sort of game coming up?
Look, I love your confidence. I have some of it.
Arrogance?
Oh, no, I wouldn't call it arrogance because it's backed up. There is facts behind it. So it's valid. But I do agree. I think if every Adelaide player played their best game and every North player played their best game, we'd win. But obviously football does not work like that. So I think it'll be tight. I think we might win by 5 or 6 points. And then I reckon if we met them again in the finals in Melbourne, then I would probably take your approach, Dean, and say, we win by 4 or 5 goals. But do you know what else? I don't think it would do us any harm to have a close game. Not that I want them to lose, but if we win a close game.
Yeah, I agree with you, Jacinta. I totally agree.
Do them some good to, play out some scenarios in real life, I guess.
Do you know what I've been thinking? Sorry. No, I'm not going to cut you off. Sorry.
No, go say it.
I've been thinking about how we don't really know how to do a kick out because we don't really have to do them.
What a weird problem.
I don't even know who kicks it out for us.
Honestly, I was genuinely thinking about this, and I think it's Ferg. Or maybe Liv Birch takes it, or maybe Wright. I don't know, but
Craven took a couple on the weekend, didn't she?
Who did?
Did Craven take a couple of them?
No, she would have only taken one because they kicked one behind.
It was 1 goal 1.
Oh, yeah, she did. Well, she definitely took one. She took one because...
there you go.
Yeah, well, there you go. I genuinely was like, what if we get to a grand final and we don't know how to do a kick out from defensive 50? Because I'm sure they practice.
Oh, Carney usually does it when she plays, doesn't she? So
yeah, Carney will kick out. She normally chips to the corner for Birch and then they just run. They open up the ground. Or I think they've done some nice little chip kicks to Brezhnehan inside. I remember that happening. I thought that's a good little chiseler pass inside and they've opened up the ground. But yeah, in my head, I generally have a fear of them not knowing how to do kickouts because they just don't do it. I'm sure they do it at training, but there's a difference between doing the training and a match sim. So, yeah, it's wild to think that, stingiest backline ever, probably throughout the history of the game, to be honest, and they can't make one single team of the week. But, Dean, I won't get into that because I'll get mad again, and I don't want to get mad. But yeah, anyway.
Yeah, I do remember the kick out because Tess Craven took it and hit Brezhnehan about 30 out right in front. Yeah, and then I think they almost butchered that because they tried an overlap play and then they almost turned it over. But well, it doesn't matter. We'll worry about that. Yeah,
We'll worry about that when someone comes close to us.
Yeah, which will probably never happen in probably the next 4 years or something like that. That's how strong we are.
That's true.
Yeah, but we'll see what happens. Jacinta, that's pretty much all I have. Do you want anything else before I let you go?
No, but I guess now I'm nervous about the kick-ins, and I just hope that I get a few points because now I'm thinking about it. That's you would hate to be like 4 points down the grand final the last quarter, and we've got to kick in, and we've got to go all the way down the ground because I don't know if they know what they're doing. But now you've got that in my head. That's okay. That's another nightmare for me. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I want to bring the men's cynicism and all the nightmares that I have, and I like to bring that over to the North women's just to make it equal.
Yeah, bless
it's
you.
A blessing. Yeah. No. Look, they'll be fine. They know what to do. It's the best back line in the league. They know what they're doing. They'll be all right.
Oh, best back line, best forward line, best midfield in the comp. So yeah, you can't really go too wrong. Just on the kick-outs, the best person I've ever seen do the kick-outs was Scott Thompson. Because you used to do the no-look ones down the middle of the ground. He used to hook it about 60 metres and we'll get a scoring shot every now and then. But that's all I remember. So Daniel Wells used to take him as well.
Who gave me heart attacks? And it wasn't Luke McDonald. He still gives me heart attacks when he takes a kick out. Scott McMahon. Remember Scott McMahon taking?
Yeah, you're not a fan of him, are you?
Oh, I love him as a person. I would have a beer with him. I'd have a coffee with him. I'd mind his kids. Do I like him on a 1v1 or him taking a kick out? Absolutely not. No way. That guy. I spent too many times in Marvel where he's gone either a chip kick to the side and screwed it up, or he's tried to hit Lockie Hansen on the 50 and they've fumbled it and it's been a goal. I'm like, amazing, great. Amazing. I love this for myself. This is great.
I'd probably take those times right now compared to what we've been through the last 5 years.
Yeah, that's so true. That is so true. I'll take a weird Nathan Grimer kick out than I will take a I don't know who even takes our kick outs actually at the moment.
Sheasel, generally if he's playing there.
Yeah.
Fisher.
Maybe?
I remember the infamous Fisher one against Collingwood.
Oh God. Too soon, Dean. Too soon.
Oh, it's never too soon with us. So.
Yeah, no, that's right. I was thinking, Dean, to end the show, and I know I'm just doing this on the fly. So I was thinking we could all pick a player, and you can't do the obvious ones. Like you can't just pick out Jazzy Garner, but like someone that you reckon is going to like have a really good game on the weekend. Like you can't pick Riddell.
Like a second. The next tier.
Yeah. Like you could go someone like, for example, I think a Vicky Wall is going to be really interesting. She's going to kick 2 and lay about, I reckon 5+ tackles on the weekend inside the forward 50. So she's the player that I'm going to watch on the weekend. And then when we come back on the show, we have to do like a poll to see whose player wins. So everyone gets to pick a player and then everyone gets to see who wins out of it. It keeps it interesting because, we keep on winning. We may as well have something else to sort of like a little side bet on how good we are.
What a problem.
Yeah. You can answer that, just, I've got to think about this. So
yeah, I don't have to go Vicky Wall. Like I can go someone else. I know I've just put you on the spot. So she's up for grabs. I'll go last because I proposed it. I'm happy to go last.
Well, does Mia King count as second tier or not?
No, I wouldn't say so, but you can see over Mia King.
I'm gonna go with. Can I say Bresnahan? Does she count?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's a fair one.
I reckon she's just going to have a good time running away from those Adelaide forwards because I don't really rate their forward pressure. So I reckon she's going to have a good time.
I like that one. That's an out-of-the-box one. I'm here for that, Jacinta. I love that confidence. Dean, do you want to go next? Because I feel like I made the game. I have to go last.
Yeah, I'll go Amy Smith with 20 disposals, probably 12 tackles. Just unassuming. Just does her role. Every week.
She's good. I fucking love her. She's so good. She's so durable. She's just, I love her. Then I'm going to stick to my guns. I'm going to go Vicky Wall. She's going to kick 2, but it's more for me, her score assists, her score involvements and her tackle pressure from that forward 50. I think she's going to love the contest. She's going to love it in and tight and rough. I think that's where she loves it, and I think she's going to have a really good game on the weekend. So hopefully all our girls get up and all the, we win and we just come back onto the podcast and bathe in the glory again, guys. It's hard being us, isn't it?
You'll have to think of a new game. What if we smash Adelaide too? Then we need some other entertainment.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we'll figure out another way to entertain ourselves. I'm sure. I'll figure out something on the fly for you guys.
Thank you.
Well, I suppose we could just worry about, this week. We don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. We are drinking our own bathwater at the moment. It's hard not to. It's not hard not to.
I'll tell you what, you were the one saying we're going to win by 4 or 5 goals.
Which we are. So,
yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
You're rude.
But we are drinking our own bathwater, so there's nothing wrong with that.
I don't want this to come back as haunt us as well. This is all over the internet. This could come back and haunt us.
Well, it's live on YouTube. I do have a question here. This is about the men's program. Ian asks, Good day, Dean and co. He's just joined. Any thoughts on trading back pick 2? I would like to see it, but it'll have to be the right offer. It seems like Richmond is gathering traction with that because they've got 1 million picks in the first round, which they're keen not to use all this year. Would you go 6 and 10 for 2 and a future first, Jacinta? Because that seems to be the rumour at the moment.
Yeah, if we get a future, our future first for 6 and
10. Yeah. So 6 and 10 for 2 and our 2025 first, which will probably be the top 4.
How confident are we that we're going to finish outside the bottom 4? I don't know if we want to give up a future first.
You know how I'm confident with the women's team? I'm the complete opposite with the men's team. So.
It's just you've taken all the confidence out of the men's and thrown it into the women's. I would like to have the 2 picks, but I don't know if I want to give up a future first. I'd almost rather give up. Oh no, I don't want to give up pick 2. No, okay, I'd take that. I would do that deal.
Yeah, so would I. I think maybe ever since who shall not be named, I don't like taking high draft picks. Like it stresses me. It stresses me way too much. I'd rather gather talent. Like, Harry and George came together. Dersma and McKercher came together. Like, it's nice to have a 6 and 10 come to the club together and grow together. So for me, I think definitely splitting the picks is the way to go. I don't want number 2. I don't want that. I don't even know with the academies and everything. Does pick 2 even pick 2 at this stage? Like it's
probably 3 or 4, isn't it, or something like that?
Yeah, exactly.
I think Ashcroft's going early. To Brisbane.
I would have thought so. But I think slide a bit. I don't mind 6 and 10. Apparently, it's a really solid draft, so I think 6 and 10 still have quite a bit of value. I think it's a smart move, and I think everyone wins if Richmond do that and we do that. I don't know about the future first rounder, but I think the 6 and 10 for 2, I'd take that any day of the week. It's a good deal for us, I reckon. We are
rumoured to go after that Alex. I can't pronounce his name. He begins with T. Apparently, big key position player, very athletic. There is rumours about that. But if we do drop down to 6, apparently Melbourne, we're looking at taking him. So I don't look. These are just rumours. There's a lot of shit going around the internet. So we'll see how we go.
So North considering actually taking a key position player. That's crazy.
I was waiting to take a half forward that doesn't apply any defensive pressure. That's what we generally do. So another midfielder. That's
what about a half-back flank? I miss you, Sean Atley.
Don't have any.
Jamie McMillan, come back.
Jay back. Yeah, all right.
You know what? We got to Caleb Daniel now, though. We don't need to draft halfbacks.
You wouldn't think so, but
no, It'd be actually really nice to finally draft a key position player, though, wouldn't it? After the million midfielders that we've seen to draft in the last 5 years, so bring it on, is what I say. If we get a key position, that'd be great. That'd be crazy. I'd love it.
Yeah,
it's a crazy idea, isn't it?
It's out of this world. Yeah, Ian's just said Alex Taru. Apparently he's very highly rated, but I think he's already 22 years old, so it'll be a bit strange if he
Alex Taru.
Yeah, apparently that's his name. So I don't know much about him. I've only seen highlights. It does look exciting, and he's bolted late in the draft. So we'll see. Yeah.
He's a Gippsland power boy, which means you might know Dersma.
Yeah, Troy Makepeace. him. So
Oh, Troy Makepeace. Jeez, that's a name I never get sick of. I love that man. He was great.
friend of the show.
Okay. Yeah, I'll tell you, he comes on your show a bit, doesn't he? He's a good bloke.
Yeah, I haven't had him for a while. I have to get him on soon.
Oh, no, only if he talks women's, We only want... I'd actually be fascinated to see how many men's former players are getting around the women's and they take their kids to the game, because I know the boys are out in Europe and Africa and everything at the moment, but I'd hope that come finals time, they'll make their way to Arden Street and come back and support the girls. Like, they're pretty good in the grand final. They were all there at the grand final.
And the prelim,
yeah, which is great to see. And I know they got trips booked and weddings and such, but I think the unity of the club that they show, I think it's really important come finals time. I think it really bonds them quite nicely. So, anyway, sorry, Dean. I keep just yapping at you, mate. Just keep yapping.
No, that's all good. That's what it's all about. That's what we do on this podcast. We just talk shit basically for an hour. So nothing wrong with that. I know what's the downpour game? Was it North Port Adelaide? I did see Tristan Cherry was at that game. The only North player I've seen at that game. So in front of, there wasn't many people at that one. So he stood out.
What was Tinkle there? Did you see Tinkle? Because his
sister was playing, wasn't he? Yeah. No, I didn't see him. No, so you'd assume that he'd stand out too, because he's quite a tall lad, big unit as well.
Yeah, true.
Anyways, Claire, did you want anything else before I let you go?
No, just Vicky Wall. She's going to take you guys apart on the weekend and ruse by about 13 points is my final prediction. And I won't see it at the game, but I'll be furiously texting you or on the direct messages with you, Dean, because you're very soothing during the game. I always text you being like, what's going to happen? You're like, Claire, we're up by 40 points. Relax.
Sometimes even more so.
Yeah, literally. I don't know why I'm texting you with stress. It just seems like now I have to do it. It's like an omen,
Keep doing it. Please keep doing it.
Exactly, yeah. I'll keep doing it because it produces the goods, May as well stick to the tradition.
No, that's right. Jacinta, anything else before I let you go?
No, just let's go Bresnahan. Hopefully 30 and a few running bounces will be good.
Oh, that'll be nice. She's a very underrated player. Just quietly, she's really solid. Well, Claire, thanks so much for coming on. I'm sure I'll have you back on next week.
Sounds good, Dean. Thanks for having me, mate.
No, always a pleasure. Jacinta, always a pleasure with you, and we'll get you back on next week, hopefully.
Yeah. Yes. At this stage, yes.
Well, that sounds confident.
Yes, I'm backing it in. Yeah.
Beautiful. And thank you to all your lovely listeners as well. Don't forget, check out the show on YouTube. I think it was live. Apparently it was. So I was getting a live chat here. So make sure to like and subscribe so you can watch it live. Leave comments. Push that notification bell as well so you get notifications when it does go live. I'll probably be back later this week. Look out for that. Until then, bye for now and go Roos. Oh, Claire's left us.
Actually, she hung on for longer than you.